It might be October very shortly, but there's still things that you can sow for autumn and winter. And maybe some newer gardeners might not be aware of the sort of things that you can be sowing. So we'll go through some. First thing that I've got on my list is spring onions. And you can grow those in containers because they're not deep rooted, they don't bulb up massive. So you can get quite a few in a container and just grow them in your greenhouse on a bench. And also they're very cold hardy, so they'll sit there perfectly fine all the way through autumn and winter until you decide you want to harvest them, either as bulbing spring onions or just green onions, which is really my preference. I like the green tops. And basically any type of spring onion that you sow will work at this time of year. So if you haven't already planted some spring onions, maybe think about getting some in. You can still sow beetroot as well. And again, beetroot is a small bulbing plant, so you could do it in a container in your greenhouse, but you can also do it outside. But you'd be better off doing it multi-sown and growing it into a little bunch and then planting it out, because you can have 4 or 5 growing together and it's going to grow really slow outside during autumn and winter, but it's not going to really have any pests to attack it. And then when it comes to that harvest time, you will be harvesting baby beets, but they'll be very sweet and still worth the wait in a space that you otherwise might not have bothered using. You can still sow some carrots as well, but they'll be pretty much same as beetroot, very slow growing. You have to direct sow them as well. You can't put them in packs and then transplant them out later, because if you do, they'll just spiral, fork, twist. They'll be no good. They've got to be direct sown either into containers or into ground. Also, you can do onion sets, and they're perfectly suited to be grown outside, because the Japanese overwintering onions that you need at this time of year, and they'll sit through frost and snow, and then come next spring they'll be bulbing up, getting ready for you to harvest right at the beginning of the season. But make sure you get the right ones. Don't just get your regular onion sets that you planted back in spring. They won't work. You've got to get the overwintering ones. So there's lots and lots of different things that you can still sow and grow even in October. But my preference, to be fair, is to do the biggest part of growing in a greenhouse, because it's bubble wrapped, it's going to be that little bit warmer, things are going to grow that bit quicker, and you've got that protection from any snow, frosts and winds as well. So I'll be doing quite a lot of stuff in this greenhouse, and some things we will be doing outside as well, but only the most arduous things will be going outside. I won't even be planting things like lettuce outside. They'll be grown in here in containers, because there's still slugs and snails about, and autumn winter is a really wet, damp time of year. It's just going to attract them even more. So I like to make sure my lettuces and salad leaf are really clean, so they go in containers and they go on benches, so that way I can monitor them better. And at that time of year, the greenhouse is not going to be too hot to grow lettuce like it would be in summer. So that's something else you can try. And of course, that also includes things like your mustard greens as well. Your beetroots you can grow for baby leaves. But when you're planting lettuce, if you're going to do them inside or out, try and pick the variety best suited, like winter density or lamb's lettuce. They're really cold hardy lettuces. With a bit of protection, I still grow regular lettuces, but they're in a greenhouse that's been insulated. I'll insulate the container and they'll still grow perfectly fine. But if you are growing them outside, you definitely need to get winter hardy ones. You can still grow peas as well this time of year if you want, but you'll be growing them for pea shoots, not pea pods. And something we've done quite recently is spinach. We've started quite a few off already. The seeds have sown and we're waiting for them now to germinate, because spinach grows very poor through summer. It bolts, flowers goes to seed when it gets too warm. So autumn and winter is a lot better to grow your spinach. So we've got ours started already now, and we're going to keep sowing more and more as we go through the next few weeks. And then you can move on to things like your brassicas. And as you probably know from previous videos, we've already got ours on go. We quite recently took some little cauliflowers out of a 12-cell pack and then popped them into bigger pots so we could grow them on. And that's how we're going to grow these. We're going to grow them inside this greenhouse, and we're going to keep potting them on so they get bigger and bigger. But we can also bury them a little bit deeper each time we pot them on, so we get a more stable, stronger plant that stays upright. And we're doing the all year round ones as well. So once again, you might want to just make sure that you're getting the right variety for the right time of year. But obviously don't forget about things like calabrese, which you can sow at this time of year as well. And you can grow it to harvest small heads off it. And then you can grow Savoy cabbages. Or you could use Durham cabbage, because that's quite a winter hardy one as well. But if you want something different to what you've been harvesting in summer, then try Savoy cabbage, because they're very winter hardy, perfectly suited for outdoors. And we've just sowed some of those seeds as well. We're just waiting for the plants to get a little bit bigger, and then we'll move them into the hoop tunnels that we've just cleared out. And then of course, let's not forget about garlic. Garlic will again grow very aptly through autumn, winter, right into spring. There's not much anything that either eats garlic or will kill it, because it's such an hardy plant. So if you've not already sown some, it's not too late. Just get some bulbs, put them in the ground and forget about them. They'll take care of themselves, as do the onion sets. And for something a little extra, why not try some microgreens? Basically, any vegetable multi-sown into little trays like that, and you grow them until they're a couple of inches above that tray, and then you can cut the whole lot off and use it as a garnish on your meals if you do different varieties like I do. Because there's loads and loads of different things that you can do. Virtually any vegetable you can think of can be used as a microgreen. And we have got a video on how we start those off as well, using compost and just using paper towels. So it might be a video you might be interested in having a look at. And last, let's not forget about broad beans. October's a perfect time to start your broad beans, because you can grow them into quite decent sized plants before you move them outside. And once again, they're very winter hardy. They'll stand out there through all your frosts and your snow. You will have to protect them if you start getting bad winds though, depending on how quick yours grow in your area. But other than that, they'll grow perfectly fine outside, and you won't have to worry about those until you get to spring the year after, when the black fly arrives. But we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. So basically, lots and lots of things that you can still sow and grow. The light's dropping, the days are getting colder, so we just change over to the more cold hardy plants to keep us going right through till next spring. If you're interested in seeing how these plants get on over the next few months, then please just hit that subscribe button, then press that notifications bell, and we'll see you on the next update. You all take care. Thank you very much for watching.